Hey everyone, you are tuning into The Voice After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Tonight we're going to be talking about the third round of Battle Round, so make sure you stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the AFTERBUZZ TV After Show for The Voice, Season 11, Battle Rounds number 3. I'm your host. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Golub, and we have a new co-host in the house tonight. Where can they find you?
Thank you for the warm welcome. I'm Nataly Tavidian. You can find me everywhere, literally everywhere, at Nataly Tavidian. That's Natalie with a Y.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like everywhere. Even NatalyTavidian.com. That exists.
You guys are on a website. Fancy.
Wow, look at that.
And then, as always, my friend Chris. Where
I'm
can
Chris.
they find you?
I'm Danny's friend, and you can
At
find
Danny's friend.
At Danny's friend. No, you can find me at Chris Howard live on Twitter and Instagram, or at legendarylivingdaily.com and legendarylivingtv.com for YouTube.
Everywhere.
Hashtag legendary.
Legendary.
Wait for it.
Yes.
All right, we had a fun episode tonight, a lot to talk about. This is the Battle Rounds number 3. We have one more Battle Rounds tomorrow, and then we go into the knockouts next week, which is crazy. The show's flying by. I feel like we just finished the blind auditions, and the Battle Rounds are already almost over.
It is going really quick.
It's going really quick.
What, 2 episodes a week? That makes
Yeah, it does
fly,
make it go by.
right?
It does make it go by quick. And like I mentioned last week, a couple of the people in the comments agreed that there isn't really a clear winner this season like there had been in the past.
So much talent. It's
Yeah.
incredible. I feel like I think that every season, but it really does get better and better.
It gets better.
Yeah, no, it really has. It was tough. These were tough choices to make for them tonight.
There was one tonight where, when we were watching, I was like, no one
Please
can
steal,
go home.
please steal.
Please. I was hitting my I always have a personal button, and I was hitting it.
She's not kidding. You were like slamming the table.
I really was.
But there was a few good steals.
I think I'm going to buy you a button.
I do. I need like an easy button. I can at least use that.
That's easy.
All right. First up tonight was Adam, Coach Adam, and he had Johnny Rez and Nolan. Nolan was the one who sang Tiny Dancer, 4-Chair Turn. They sang Sledgehammer, and this was a tough pairing. Nolan is a personal favorite of mine, but what did you guys think?
I was surprised that the other 3 went with Johnny, Blake, Alicia, Miley.
Yeah,
they
they
all
thought
said
Johnny would
pick Johnny, but we were both rooting for Nolan. I
was.
like that. I like that he took Adam's advice, came back, and it's just such a great story.
Yeah, it's a good story. And when I was looking at Nolan, I mean, I love, just like Adam had pointed out, the raspiness and the ability to go high like that Nolan had. So I thought that was fantastic. There's raw talent there. But quite frankly, the other one, was it Johnny?
Yeah.
I thought that
Rez.
Johnny,
He was
in
really good.
rehearsal, he didn't sound as strong, but in the performance, it seemed like his voice dropped down. He had more resonance to it, and I thought he nailed it, and I thought he did a better job than Nolan did.
Yeah, I just couldn't see Adam giving Nolan up. He really fought
He
for
liked
him
that,
with that
yeah.
4-chair turn, and I think with certain acts like that, even if maybe this wasn't his strongest performance, he knows the potential that he has down the road. I feel like Nolan is the kind of guy that we're going to see in like the top few, you know?
Yeah,
And he has a really good connection with him.
Yeah, he does.
It's a very unique voice, and you could see that even when they said, "What are we gonna? Who are you gonna pick?" And Adam said, "I think I'm gonna go with somebody that I feel like I have a connection with." And you saw his eyes light up at that moment because Nolan knew he was gonna stay. Yeah.
That leads us really well into the next one with Miley, and I feel like Miley and Darby have a very similar connection as that Adam and Nolan do, but the next one was Darby versus Carly, which this was my favorite of the night.
Yeah.
We were both dancing.
I was dancing.
Wasn't
I was
that
singing.
neat?
It was so good. We were
so
jamming
good.
to it.
I
We liked
literally-
the music. We liked the choice.
I love the song choice. It was brand new key. I'm not even gonna try to sing it because it's so high and I have a really deep voice.
Oh, come on, give it a go. That was right on. What are you talking about?
Way too
I
high
got
for
a
me.
friend, dude.
Yeah.
What an awesome song
I
choice. We
love
haven't
this
heard
song.
anything like that.
We haven't. It was so Miley. I so loved it. It was like fresh and young and amazing for these two singers. I literally wrote so sad I love them both before seeing this because Carly was the one that did the Regina Spektor. Was it? I think, or she did a cover that was just beautiful, and then Darby just stole everybody's hearts in the blind audition. So I was really upset when I saw these two go up
We were
against
so
each
bummed
other.
about the pairing.
I was.
That's like the first thing we both
I
said.
love these two.
I think the two girls were bummed about it too. I mean, that's why they
were.
brought
They
it up to
like each
Miley. Why
other
did you pair
and-
us together?
Yeah.
It's
They
like,
did.
And they're so different.
Yeah.
They're very different.
but
Yeah.
both kind of indie is the
Alternative,
you know,
yeah. And it's interesting because Darby is really out there and has a lot of personality when she sings, and Carly is a little bit more reserved. And I kind of like that they let them each be themselves instead of trying to like force Carly out of some shell that she isn't. They let her kind of let her voice do the talking, and Darby gave more of like the performance, which I think it was Blake said, you know, I couldn't keep my eyes off Darby. But at the same time, when it came down to like the music, I actually think Carly might have done a little bit better.
See,
I don't know.
on the music side, I gave it to Darby too.
Yeah, I mean, they're both so good.
But it teaches Carly something in relationship to that, because it's like you can't just let the other person outperform you on that side.
Yeah, she
And
didn't
Blake saw
though.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blake definitely saw that because Darby was chosen by Miley, but Blake gave Carly a steal. That was me. So me and Blake on that one. But what I
You
thought,
called that too. You
I
said there's
did.
going to be a steal.
there
from
has
this
to
one.
be. Those two are too good. I literally, when I watch this show, like always, you have to think, would I go buy this single and listen to it on the way home? Because it's a cover. You already have the original. Would you purchase the cover? I would 100% purchase the cover of these two singing this song.
I agree. It was amazing.
It was
Yeah,
great.
really, really
to
awesome
it.
performance. In fact, I tweeted out right after that, and Darby friended me right after that.
Oh, really?
So, Darby, if you're watching, I
Darby.
told her to watch. You
love
rocked
you.
it tonight.
We'd
Both
be-
of you, Darby and Carly, you both rocked it
We'd be
tonight.
happy to have you on the show.
Yes, please come and
Please
join
come
us.
join us.
Anybody
Right
from
here.
the show, if you're watching, come and join us. We could.
Yeah, we love it. We had
love to have you on.
Paxton, we had Jeffrey Austin. We would love to have any of you.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so Miley, Team Miley is remaining with Darby, and Team Blake now has Carly, which Carly, Adam said, had a little country in her, so we'll see what else she could do. I think
It
that's
was
going to be
neat.
a lot of fun.
One thing I'll add on that too before we move on is that I think that Adam said it best when he said Miley just she solidified her place on the show with this performance because of the song choice. Because I mean, we got to see what the uniqueness of Miley could bring to the show, and I know there was a lot of question about that early on.
Didn't he say that was the Mileyest thing
That was the
we've
Mileyest
ever
thing.
seen?
Yes.
Yes, I agree, and I think that this
Hashtag the Mileyest thing.
this really was like her breakthrough moment.
It's
as a
so
coach.
funny. I'm Team Miley now, and I didn't like Miley when she went into that really
I
weird
know.
stage of her life, and now
that this
I
is-
love
Yeah.
Team Miley.
She's rebranding herself. I think so, and I think
it's
she's
awesome.
great.
This is awesome for her.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Next up was Blake. He had Blaine and Josh.
Blaine with the baggy jeans.
I am not over this. Bette Midler would not let him live down his outfit. She said he looked like an unmade bed and that he needs to get to
guy.
wardrobe immediately. She's like, I can't have him go on stage like that. He looks like a mess.
And one of the things he took away, aside from having awesome coaches, is that he hates skinny jeans.
Yes, so funny
hates
though.
skinny jeans.
Poor guy.
They
But
sang,
he had a cool leather jacket in the end, you know?
He looked great.
yeah, they sang "Stranger in My House." It was great. This was a really good pairing. What do you guys think?
I was jamming to this. I like this. I really like the performance. I was definitely jamming to it. I have cutie in my notes for
Josh.
Ah!
He is a cutie.
Cutie.
Hey Josh, we see you.
It was a great performance. I like them both. Blake saying that he said that he's a little country. He's a little country artist that can be on the radio.
Right.
Josh.
Yeah, and
like
they
that comment.
have recognizable voices, both of them.
Yes.
Josh won this battle, which I think was deserving. Unfortunately, no one stole Blaine. But, I think he had a great performance. It's so hard at this point, especially with a duet, choosing who does better. I felt like this one was pretty even throughout the most part. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought it was even too. And for me, yeah, see, I had Blaine. I thought Blaine won it.
You did.
Personally,
You did.
yeah,
Interesting.
I would have given it to Blaine, but then I saw that they had done Josh, and I was surprised also that Blaine didn't get picked up.
Yeah, we were guessing back and forth the whole time, and I usually would guess right, but this one couldn't even guess. I was very on the fence about these two, but it was a great performance. Blake's team isn't necessarily, I don't think, the strongest they've ever been, but I still think he has some good players, and now he has someone like Carly on his team, which is just totally different than everything else that he has.
It's
We're so happy about that.
So happy.
So happy. about that.
Did not
Go
want
home.
Carly to go home.
You know what's fascinating to me though is how they pick who they pair up with each other.
It kills me. How do they pick that?
It is.
Yeah, because you'd think they know that one one of them's gonna go, but they're so strong. It's like and
I
the
think
pairing-
Sometimes
Figure
they're so
that out.
different, and they'll give them some tips. And I feel like Alicia Keys, she was surprised at one point with I know we'll get to it, but I know she was surprised and she was like, oh, they took my advice. I didn't know that this is the way I was going to go.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Next up was Alicia, for that matter, and then she had them sing House of the Rising Sun.
Amazing.
It was Josh and Kylie. Kylie actually went to college with Charlie Puth, who was her advisor.
Berkeley.
That was crazy. Berkeley School of Music, I think?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
These two were great. I actually guessed wrong on this one. I thought Josh had won it, but Kylie actually won this one. But there was a steal. What do you guys think?
I'm glad they did the steal.
Yeah, me too. Because
Yeah.
I actually thought Josh won it personally. You thought Kylie won it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going for Kylie with this one. It's tough. It's
so
so
tough.
tough. We can't say that enough. But with this one, I thought Kylie won it, and I love the connection she had connecting with Charlie and saying Charlie's so down to earth, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah.
To see that they went to
It
the
was
same
really
school.
cool.
I was
How
in
surreal
Josh's
is
court,
that?
so I was glad for the steal.
For the steal, yeah, he's on Team Miley now, which will be neat and different. You know, he is like really cool and funky and has like he's the one with the cattle.
Yeah,
right?
he's gonna get away from the cattle now.
Yeah, I was actually really
New audience.
I was really surprised that Alicia didn't pick Josh because of what she said about him, you know, with like the light that he wants to emit with music, and that's totally her thing. But I think that she just felt a connection with Kylie and her story. Kylie actually had a vocal hemorrhage and wasn't able to sing for a long time, and now she's kind of come out of
That's
this
so
on top.
heartbreaking.
I can't imagine. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds painful.
Right.
And she said she didn't think that she would ever be able to sing again. And
So,
she sang
yeah.
a song like House of the Rising Sun. That's a really difficult
Really
song.
hard. Adam said that. Adam was like, "This is one of the hardest songs to cover." And there's something really badass about a woman getting up there with a guitar and like belting it out. She's awesome. So I think Alicia connected with her on that.
It's not uncommon though, the vocal type things, because I've been a professional speaker for like 20 years,
Right.
and to hear people that have either
Vocal
vocal
injuries.
cancer
What's a
or
hemorrhage?
nodules, like hemorrhage. I
Sounds
mean,
scary.
a hemorrhage in
something
essence
worse?
is the blood vessels breaking. So
Yeah.
I don't
Ugh.
really know what it is, but for a lot of speakers, will get nodules on their throats.
Yeah.
And I would assume it's the same with singers that then have to be removed.
Yeah, I
and
know
it's-
Adele had that,
Yeah.
and she wasn't able to sing for a bit. And yeah, I think that they make a joke about it in Pitch Perfect.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, she's recovering from nodes.
But imagine not knowing if you can ever
Totally.
be able to
No,
perform
it's your
again, and this is
passion.
your passion.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, Celine Dion has like 5 doctors that follow her around
Totally.
to make sure her voice is, and she
Well,
won't talk
yeah.
for days before the performance.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, that's
Ariana
insane.
Grande. I follow her on Snapchat, and she is like sometimes we'll be writing because she's on vocal rest.
Oh,
Like,
is she? Yeah.
yeah, because she's got that like belty voice, you know. And I think that Kylie sings in a similar way. She kind of puts it all out there, and like especially with performances like this, it's like you have to leave it all out there on the floor because you're fighting for your life here. So
Well, thank goodness she's better and she can
Yeah.
share her gift with all of us.
she's great. She's remaining on Team Alicia, and I think that she is where she belongs, which is great. Next up was Blake's team. We had Christian and Gabe.
The youngest
Yeah,
of all.
This, I think, unfortunately, was my least favorite performance of the night. I felt like they were too different for this to be a duet, and I didn't feel like they were super in sync. Whereas, like when I listened to Carly and Darby, that felt like one song, whereas this kind of felt like two. What did you guys
Right.
feel about it?
I get what you're saying. I mean, there was some, because it's just the level of rapport between the two singers, and if they're really working together. I get that.
I think here's the thing with these two, though. They're both so young, and I think
They are, yeah. One was the youngest in the competition,
15 years old. Gabe is 15 years old. They sang Hoova Stinks.
The Reason. It was a lot of fun.
I love that song. Yeah.
It brought us back to high school.
It did. It's a great song. But I think the most difficult thing is what a lot of the judges said is that they're so young. How do they connect with the audience? They're great singers. They have the voice, but it's that connecting that they're struggling with
The
at
stage
that age.
presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of
I
comes
think
with
they're both
maturity.
very
and, yeah.
talented.
Yeah, I
That really
love
is
listening to them.
rapport. It's the ability to, look somebody in the eyes. And one of the coaches said it earlier. I think it was Bette Midler who said, you got to make everybody feel like you're singing to just them.
Yep,
Yeah.
she
And
did say that.
Yeah. She had great
That
times.
ability is something that takes time.
She was an amazing advisor.
She was great.
She
Yeah.
gave really good advice. It was really awesome to watch her connect with like young singers and stuff because I feel like she appeals to a much older crowd, but she was really connecting with these young artists and giving them great advice, and I feel like really helping them think forward in their careers, which was awesome.
That's what I appreciated in the whole episode. I've just been paying more attention to what the coaches are saying, and I'm writing those things down because it's it really is a master class in and performance and singing.
I had that in my notes, Beth.
Did
Amazing
you
coach.
too? Look at
Amazing
you.
coach. For some reason, I guess we all thought that for those two,
So
she
great.
did an amazing job.
She really did. And even like Joan, did you see Miley in her Joan Jett shirt? She was like fangirling out over her own coach. It was, her own advisor. It was great. But Gabe ended up taking home that one, the 15-year-old Gabe Broussard. It was so funny because he was like, yeah, you know, I decided to start singing back when I was young. I was like, you're only 15 years old. You are very young.
Back when I was young.
I'm rooting for
in the
Gabe.
day.
Well, you just got me when you said, yeah, it brought us back to Hoobastank brought you back to high school. I mean, for me, it was Depeche Mode. Hoobastank was like last year going to Vegas or something. I mean,
Hey, Hoobastank is so cool. The Reason is still a hit.
it is.
Yeah, it's one of those timeless
We don't know
songs.
what the reason is, though.
No, the reason is you.
But it's still
It's you.
Oh,
I feel like that's one of those songs that's timeless. I feel like there's a few the song choices tonight where I think were pretty strong compared to
Yes.
some past weeks. I
Yes,
didn't know all the songs
definitely.
last week. This week I thought that they were great song choices.
Amazing song choices.
But yeah, Gabe took that one home. Unfortunately, Christian wasn't stolen. I mean, it's unfortunate that not everyone could be stolen. You know, that's not how it works. Each coach in this round gets 2 steals, and then in the knockouts they each only get 1, and they're very conservative with them. Miley,
they have to be. Yeah.
Miley used her last steal on Josh, so she doesn't have any more. I think the others might have 1 more, but yeah, you only get a couple, and you know there's so much talent at this point that you gotta be.
And there's and to the title of the show, there's so many unique voices too.
Of course, they're all
Yeah,
very
it's
different.
really cool.
I'm so glad I don't have to make these choices.
I know. I mean,
I'm so glad we get to talk about it after the fact. 'cause
Alicia
they're
was
all so
saying how
amazing.
emotional it is. She's like, I feel
Yeah.
really vulnerable right now making a choice between these 2 people, and like you have their fate and their life kind of in your hands.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. It's emotional for the judges, but it's also emotional for the artist, because if you think of someone like Carly, she had like a solid minute there where she thought she was off the show and her dream felt
Right.
crushed, and then bam, Blake swoops in.
And
I mean,
she was the one that was walking away, right?
yeah. Well, the next one, Sera, was literally
she's-
walking off the
okay.
stage.
I
We'll
was-
get
I
to
was
her in a
off. I was
second.
off there.
There's a
get to
new
the
title
second.
for a show, though, Dream Crusher.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're with NBC.
Here's where we crush people's
we
dreams.
crush people's dreams.
I feel like The
See, I
Voice
would
is the
hate to have that kind of authority.
No.
I'm so glad I can talk about it here and say
No one's
they had
getting
a
mad
tough
at you.
choice. Yeah.
No, The Voice is actually very opposite of that. I feel like I always say, this show is so positive. You don't hear a negative word come out of one of the coaches' mouth.
Right.
If anything, it's like constructive criticism. They're not saying
And the
anything.
artists love it. They're grateful
They
to
do.
get that.
Sure.
I mean, the meanest thing I heard tonight was Bette Midler talking about his outfit. She's like, "Have you been to wardrobe?" He goes, "No, these are my clothes." She's like, "Yeah, you need to go."
Yeah, they need to
wardrobe
dress you
quick.
You need to,
And that's just a quick fix.
And it was funny. It had nothing to do with his singing ability.
Right. Of
She loved his voice.
Yeah.
but she got the performance, and there's the
It's a
reality
package,
to it.
yeah. Because The Voice is in its nature about your voice, but when it comes down to it, like you're on national television, there is a certain expectation with like your full package.
Can't separate it.
Yeah, you can't, especially with the way TV is these days.
Yeah.
And then the last battle of the night was Miley. She had Aaron and Sera sing "I'll Take Care of You." This was a big performance.
This was my favorite performance.
Yeah,
It
performance.
was amazing.
The whole production value of this one was big. It felt like they were, I felt like they weren't on a competition show. It felt like this was a real performance. I feel like people would pay to go see something like this.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, for sure. And that's once again the advantage that Miley brings to the mix. She's a show person. She's she puts on a show. I think that's going to be the value that her participants get from playing with
That's
her.
what she's bringing.
Yeah, that's the real strength that she brings to the table, which is cool.
Yeah.
This
And
was another one of those, though, where I was like, no, why these two? Why these two? Because they were favorites for me during the blinds. Aaron had 3 chair turns at the blinds.
I love Aaron.
Yeah.
He's great. He's the one with like the young
great
son.
with the electric guitar on
Yeah.
stage. He was just rocking it. It was a great performance. But they were both great.
Yeah, this was wonderful. Aaron ended up taking this one. He ended up winning. And Sera, as we were just talking about, ended up walking off the stage, literally said her thank
barely
yous.
took a step.
Yeah, started walking down, was like, I'm going home. Bam, steal and another steal. She had 2. She had Alicia and Blake. Both want her.
I think they time that too. I think they wait and
Yeah.
let them feel the pain and
Yeah.
let us feel the pain
It
and
was
the tension.
quick,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It was really quick.
Can you, I mean,
was like, oh, thank goodness.
I can't imagine what that feels like, that moment of like being really sad to then going to be, it's like anxious, sad, happy, all packed into a total
contrast.
60 seconds. Because first you're nervous, then you're sad, disappointed, and then you're like, oh my gosh,
all back.
just kidding, I have everything back.
Well,
it's
have
like
another
being
chance.
pulled in 2 different directions. I can't even imagine what that feels like.
That's what they say, time is relative. That time for them is probably
An hour.
An hour. You know,
us
it's like,
it's-
oh shit, I lost it all. And then they're got to be kind of hoping in the back of their mind that maybe I'll get saved.
Yeah.
maybe steal me.
Yeah, as she's walking down the
Yeah.
stairs, like I'd be walking really slowly, like maybe someone can do it.
I love the friendly rivalry between Alicia and Blake there.
Yeah, it was great. Adam, what did Adam say? He's like, I'm not telling you not to choose Blake, but I am telling you to choose Alicia or something. Like,
I think it was flipped around. I'm not telling you who to choose, but don't.
but don't choose Blake
yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, Adam and Blake have the good rapport that they always do.
See, I thought it was cool because I saw Adam connect in this episode a little bit more with Miley. I think Adam questioned what Miley was going to bring to the mix.
I think everyone did.
Yeah,
kind
because
of.
Adam was a really big Alicia fan. When Alicia came on, Adam was like,
Yeah,
I'm
bow
not
down.
worthy, right? And I didn't think that he really felt the value of Miley, but then in seeing the performances and what she's now bringing to the table, I think he's
Yeah.
getting, okay, she's for real.
I think Adam, along with the rest of the country, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, because I feel like a lot of people who watch this show maybe were in a similar boat to you. With I love Miley and I always have, but I think that there are a lot of people that maybe aren't like girls in their 20s. You know,
Right.
they're a little bit like hesitant and skeptical about what Miley's actual ability is.
Because she's the youngest that they've
She
ever,
is
they've
youngest.
ever had, too,
What is
yeah.
she? 23, 24. She's really young. So to have her be a coach. First of all, she doesn't have as much life experience as someone like Alicia or Adam or Blake. Second of all, she had a brand before that made some people nervous, and this is a very family-oriented show.
Right.
So I think that she's really rebranded herself and proven to everyone that I feel like what she was doing before was just an act. It was like a fame-grabbing moment.
I
And
liked her. I thought she was
thought
a
it
good
was
choice
fun.
from the start.
You like the
yeah,
tongue?
people love it. She doesn't do this. She hasn't done it once.
I know. What does she do? Does she do it
Maybe
like, or
not.
does she do?
I don't know. I'm not.
But she has a lot of personality,
Yeah,
and
something
she
like that.
wears
Okay.
it on. She wears it literally.
She literally, yeah, but I think
Yeah.
it's fun.
Wears
She's
it.
very animated. She's
Yeah.
always wearing like big colors, big flowers, big heart necklace. I think
Yeah.
I think she's a blast, and I think that it's a lot of fun having her on a show like this. I think it's showing a different side of her. She is very musically talented. She's grown up with this industry.
surrounded by amazing mentors.
When you think about it, it's like maybe
talent.
Adam's been doing this, or I don't know. Let's say someone like Gwen Stefani's been doing this since she was 17, so
Right.
she's been doing it for 20 years. So is Miley, because she's been doing this since she was born. You know what I mean?
Since she was born, yeah.
Basically, so it's like she's also been doing this for 20 years. When you think about
Right.
it, it's like her age isn't necessarily her experience, because she's
Oh,
been
for
on
sure.
the show. She's been doing TV and movies and music since she was
lives,
born.
music, performance, all of that.
She's been a
Totally.
star for. I mean, when was
Hannah Montana was when she was a
was
kid.
Yeah.
Hannah Montana.
I went to saw Hannah Montana in concert.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was Hannah Montana. It wasn't Miley.
Hashtag
It was
no big deal.
It was a Hannah Montana concert.
I
took a
almost did
limo
the same
there
thing.
with
I
my
went to
friends.
Hillary Duff in concert.
I went to Hillary Duff too.
I love
Did
her.
you really?
Probably with
I had a crush on her.
Metamorphosis tour.
On Hillary Duff.
She was like my idol. I went to her Metamorphosis tour when I was a
Did
kid.
you really?
Yeah, we might have been there together.
I'm so jealous now. Well, I saw Spice Girls and NSYNC.
Okay.
Maybe
Since we're throwing it back right now.
Maybe they'll be the next coaches on the. Well, Mel B's already busy with AGT, so we're good.
When I was in high school, I went to Duran Duran.
That's a good one. That's a winner.
That's before you, right?
No, but I know Duran.
I went to
Anyways.
my first concert was Judas Priest, and I didn't want to go. My friend dragged me, and I fell asleep standing up.
Is that even possible?
Why?
Who the hell knows? I don't know. I just wasn't a concert
Was
person.
not a good.
I was like
it
16,
wasn't as
17
good.
years old.
You
yeah.
would not have fallen asleep
fell
during
asleep at Judas
during
Priest.
Aaron and Soraya's performance tonight. That is for sure.
Yes.
Could not.
Great transition there. Great.
Trying to
Thank
bring
you.
it back.
Thank you. Let's,
love it.
let's get this thing
Let's
moving.
get
in
this
a-
back into the show. Anyway,
No
let's
more concert stories? I got a few more.
let's talk favorite performance of
Next
the
week.
night. It was very obvious, I think, so far that mine was Darby and Carly. But does anyone else have any favorites? Mine was that brand new Key performance.
Yeah, I have to say I love that
I
one
think
too.
I agreed. I love that one.
You also like
but
the
my favorite was the Aaron and Sera.
right? Yeah, the I'll Take Care of You.
Yes.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I think that was good.
Performance-wise, it was amazing. Vocals were incredible.
Any standouts from this week? People that you think are going really far, like finals worthy people.
I think there were a lot. There's so many unique voices. The only thing that keeps standing in my mind is how unique that song was and how neat it was to hear them singing it.
Brand new
I was
key.
like, yeah, I'd love more
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I
That's
think
great.
Darby's going far. I think Nolan's going to go far from Team Adam.
Yeah.
From tonight, I think those two, in my opinion, are two of the biggest standouts from tonight in terms of like longevity in this show. I feel like once America can start voting, they're gonna really pull for those two. If I had
Yeah.
to guess, Darby's only
I'm with you.
17. She's so young.
Yeah, I love those. I like Adam said, I love those raspy voices that can hit the high notes. It's like that.
Yeah.
That's, you know, it kind of reminds me of what's the band that does Rockstar? Nickelback. It's it's kind of in that vein. You know, it's like there's
definitely an
really
audience
neat
for
about
that. Yeah. People do love it. Yeah. Anyone else from tonight?
I can't pick. I like them all, but
yeah, they're great.
I think Aaron was one of my favorites tonight.
The one you wrote cutie next to?
No,
That's Josh.
that's Josh.
There's plenty of cuties. Aaron's a cutie too.
Yeah.
Plenty of cuties in tonight's show. Well, tomorrow is our last battle.
His performance is cute. I wrote cute. I
It
had
was.
to.
Wait, you don't have to explain.
He's definitely a cutie. He has a nice, cute little family. He has his goats. He's a good guy.
He has his goats. He's a good guy.
Oh no, that's a different Josh. So many Joshes, so many goats. It's fine. Anyway, we have lots of tangents tonight. Apologize to all our viewers. Just working out the kinks. It's cool. Anyway, bringing it back home, we are going to talk a little bit next week about the last round of battles, which is tomorrow night, and then we'll be back next Monday for knockouts. Pew, pew. We're going to knock each other out. Each coach gets one steal. It's going to be real intense. This is when the show, I think, starts to take a really intense turn because now...
Are you ready for this?
I don't know. I'm going to have to bring my own buzzer, and I'm going to be sad. I'm going to have to bring tissues because some of my favorites are going to be going home. It's impossible for them not to because now all the people that won the battles are now going to be going up against each other. And the difference is the battles, they sing the same song, whereas the knockouts, they each sing their own song. Which will be interesting, you know, because now they get a little bit more of their own
freedom.
style.
Play.
Where I feel like with the battles, it was kind of like, let's find something that works for both of you.
Yeah, how do you coordinate it? But,
Right.
Yeah, I really wanted that piece, son of a bitch.
Yeah. I don't even know how much they get to pick. I feel like the coaches kind of pick for them
get into
still
the
at this
knockouts.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still in
Ready
the
for the
ring.
knockout.
With the ring is so funny. The battles and the knockouts.
Oh, I
is
love
such a
it.
funny. Yeah, the ring is so cute. But yeah, so next week we'll be back for the knockouts. But if they want to continue the conversation this week, where can they find you on
that
Twitter
was so
and Instagram?
smooth. I didn't even know it was happening. You can find
Transitions are
me.
just flawless.
Yeah, isn't
You guys
she
have been
good?
practicing.
This
might
girl's
be
got. I mean,
hosting
she's like
skills.
Miley. She's been doing this since she was a kid. You can find me. I'm Chris Howard. Reach me at Chris Howard Live on both Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm Nataly Tavidian. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, what else is there? Snapchat, everywhere at Nataly Tavidian.
And as always, I'm your host, Dani Golub. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Golub. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you again next week.
Ciao.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.